There's no doubt in our mind that the Syrian regime, under the leadership of Bashar al-Assad, is responsible for this horrific attack. And we think it's time that the Russians really need to think carefully about their continued support of the Assad regime.
All right, the view is that the Secretary of State on, what we do now in Syria, that we're going to do something. Obviously, he and his boss, the president, aren't telegraphing exactly what that something will be. But Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton with us now on the possibilities. Obviously, we would presumably work with our allies, both in the region, maybe outside, to do something. Should that be the first step?
Neil, we should work with our allies where we can, but we have to work alone if we must. The threats from Syria are grave, and they've been gathering for many years. President Obama should have enforced his own red line 4 years ago when he said that the use of chemical weapons would be a red line. He shouldn't have walked away at the time. Now the world has seen another atrocity committed by Bashar al-Assad. It's these kind of images that are the primary recruiting tool for the Islamic State. President Trump was obviously very emotionally touched by this, and he recognizes the deep U.S. interest that we have in Syria. So I think he struck the right tone yesterday of expressing moral outrage, but also being unspecific about the consequences that Bashar al-Assad will face, but there must be consequences.
All right, but it's not as if this is new, Senator, what we've seen out of Assad, right? And in the past, as a candidate, Donald Trump was very leery of getting involved in Syria with others or alone, and that, furthermore, the idea of taking Assad out of power might be a zero-sum game. And late in the game, he seemed to change his mind that was even a worthy goal. Do you think that is the goal now, or should be the goal now, that one way or the other, Assad has got to go?
Well, Neil, I've long believed Bashar al-Assad has to go. I don't think the United States can be safe from the threats emanating from Syria with Assad in power. However, military action against Syria, if it occurs, does not have to occur with the specific goal of removing Assad from power. I would draw your viewers' attention to Operation El Dorado Canyon in 1986, when Ronald Reagan retaliated against Libya for bombing a popular nightclub frequented by American service members in Germany. Ronald Reagan didn't try to remove Muammar Gaddafi from power. He didn't try to establish liberal democracy in Libya, but he engaged in punishing retaliatory strikes against Libya to teach Muammar Gaddafi a lesson.
Do you think Russia would allow that to happen, look the other way?
It depends on how Russia perceives our actions. Russia is complicit in part in these attacks because they claim that they removed all of Bashar al-Assad's chemical weapons 4 years ago. And yet again, Vladimir Putin has not dealt in good faith with the United States and our allies. But frankly, if we take military action against the sites where chemical munitions are stored, where these aircraft conducted the attack, perhaps against air operation centers or radar systems that help guide these attacks, Russia doesn't have much of an option to retaliate against us. They might issue a strongly worded statement at the United Nations, but they would also understand that the United States, once again, means business.